I believe we have a shark.
Thanks again for joining me, crew. Sorry for the late post. I got separated from my laptop, but it was returned safely to me. Anyway, thanks again for being here.
Fortunately, a dolphin, he's got a little chunk out of his dorsal fin. Hi, buddy. We haven't seen a dolphin in a while. Hi, bud. They whistle, so I'll see if you can hear me. Okay, you can see that, I bet. That is identified on my chart. I took a picture of it. I don't know that it will show up. I'll put it in the video if I can, but that's what danger looks like. But we are on the path of righteousness and proper navigation, which is good. We're following our safe waypoints, and so that keeps us away from hazards like that.
We are making our way leisurely across the Great Bahama Bank, just north of Grand Bahama Island, south of Great Sale Cay, and we are doing this on our way to Florida so we can avoid the hurricane season, but find a way to continue sailing. That's a story for a future episode.
Moving along with only the sounds of Mother Nature at 5.6 knots. Finally have the right wind in the right direction. We can just sail. We are approaching Mangrove Key. We will round the key. Yeah, we will anchor near Memory Rock and then get started early in the morning. Get through a few places where there is some coral just as it gets light, and then we will make our way toward Florida. This is pretty. Some friendly boaters out here in the middle of nowhere with a US flag, it looks like, and they took my picture too. Let's see if AIS tells us who they are. Blondie too, thank you for being so kind and waving as you went by today. Passing us like two ships in the day. Yeah, I just switched sides with the Genoa, and it went pretty well. The wind is not very heavy, so I could mess with it. We've got it balanced out going wing and wing for the moment. No preventer on the main, so hopefully we don't have any wind issues. But the wind is light. Wind issues like slamming the boom across the boat. But I think I'm okay. We are doing 5.5 in light winds, And right now I've got just enough wind to keep it in the Genoa and have the sails split. This is fun. That's why Denny's on his knees. The sails will always be a little bit fluky, and so I should have a pole on the Genoa, but I rarely sail this way and I don't even own one. This is just fun. Beautiful wind. A little bit shallow in this area. It was down to about 9 feet, so I've got to pay attention to what I'm doing here. Yeah, awesome. Come on, Phil, Bessie, Phil. I can help this along. I guess Jenny. Phil, Jenny, Phil. There we go. There we go. There we go. If I had a spinnaker pole, this would be less of an art. At 5'6", I can't complain. Just a nice day to be on our way. Giving Sparky a break. I just have the wheel locked off. And the boat is balanced very well indeed. This is the lock right here, and it locks the wheel, and when I get the boat balanced right, it will bounce a couple of degrees here or there and just need a minor adjustment. It's, of course, right up until now it went about 5 minutes without needing anything. Oh, it just did go back to 250. It needs to be 250, 251. What a day. At the end of the day here, anchoring in a bit more wind and a bit more wave than I expected, out in the middle of nowhere. We're like 5-6 miles from the breakers where we want to go through to get out to the ocean tomorrow. So we're in a good spot from a motoring standpoint, and typically anchoring out here that I've found, typical in my experience, it's not that windy or not that wavy for long. These are little 1-footers, and we've got about 12 knots of wind, which shouldn't be a big deal. And the wind is going to switch around. That's why I anchored here. The wind is now coming from the northeast. It's going to come from the southeast tomorrow when we want to sail. So it's a bit rough at the moment. Just checked my anchor, and after about a half hour that I used to tie up the mainsail over there, after about a half hour we haven't moved. So I'll watch it again here in a little bit, but this is more, minor chop than I expected. right, well hopefully it calms down like it did last night, and whoa! And we can have a nice smooth slumber. All right. Woo dogs, it was a rock and roll party last night, holy smoke. We're out on the hook an hour from Memory Rock, and we're not the only insane one. There's another guy out here too. I'll see if I can get his lights. It's maybe 6:30. It's light enough to get underway. We've got to get out. But last night the anchor drag, we had 2 foot, 3 foot seas, and so there was some slamming of the boat. Anchoring in 3-footers is no fun, but that's been happening a lot this year in the Bahamas. And anchors dragging. Heard more about that in the Exumas than in the Abacos, but that's another story for another day. We're up and we're getting ready to go, and man, am I glad last night is over. Jeez, it's the least comfortable sleep I've had in a while. I was up every 2 hours. I wasn't even asleep for 2 hours, but I was up every 2 hours checking on the anchor. Yeah, let's go.
Expecting there was some potential for the anchor to drag, I made sure that I anchored more than a mile from any hazards that were on my charts.
All right. Way out there, just off my bike seat, I can see lights. You can't see that. There's the moon. It's the crack of dawn. Man, let's go.
Getting the dragged anchor dislodged took multiple tries. Typically, one creeps up on the anchor and reels in the chain and goes back and pops the throttle and moves the boat forward again, then goes back to the cockpit and brings in more chain. Yeah, with the wind blowing as much as it was, that was a chore, and that anchor was buried.
I'll be taking some Dramamine in a little bit before we get out into the ocean. Following sea, quartering sea today. I might get a little uncomfortable. I'll take that. Hopefully it doesn't make me sleepy. Glad I stocked up on the caffeine drinks. Those bottled Starbucks coffees and some Lipton iced tea type stuff. Yeah, I may need that today. I thought I was going to be crossing over at night, but I wanted you to see me sailing on the ocean during the day. I wanted to share that with you. Now, also the weather window's better during the day, but that meant sleeping out here last night. And it was a good decision to not go out into the ocean yesterday and last night. I should have anchored closer to land. Woo, dogs. Bumpy. I saw that the other boat that was out here that I could see is a cargo ship, 171 feet long. So they were complaining last night about the bumps to somebody on the radio, and they were feeling it, so I was feeling it, that's for sure. But puts me closer to the outlet to the sea. That was the plan, and I thought where I anchored here, I would get just enough protection from the land that is out of view, that the waves would be small because the wind would clock around and wouldn't have time to build up the waves. But I was wrong. I was right 2 out of 3 times I had to anchor in this vicinity. Yeah, and nothing bad happened, not yet, but uncomfortable night. I'll try to stay sharp. I'll try to stay sharp and not have anything bad happen today. Thanks for being here. Good morning, crew. The dark line ahead denotes deeper water. We are leaving the Bahama Bank. Cool. Going to open up the Genoa and let's start sailing with both sails up. Try to make some progress today. around 290 degrees. That's what the sails are trimmed for, and that seems to be what the sea's like, which puts us on a bit of a broad reach, between a broad reach and a beam reach, and it's putting us on course for Port St. Lucie. But I also know that the Gulf Stream is going to push us north, and the extra 15 miles to Fort Pierce may happen as well. So this is sailing on the ocean in 6-footers, and they're pretty close together. It's choppy, it's tight, with the occasional 8-footer coming through. Whoa! But not bad. Definitely a day for hand steering. Sparky gets a break. I had a day like this on Lake Huron, where it was about 12 hours of hand steering, which will take its toll in a while. I can't catch the flying fish. They just flew behind you. We'll see if I can get those in a minute next time. Whoop. Maybe I can get a new pick for the introduction here.
Sailing in the open ocean is always an adventure, and it's going to be an adventure for me as well. It's a lot of fun, but getting into port at dark, not so much. Join me next time. I'll see you soon.